Well, your center card is the Empress. So we got the feeling of being fulfilled, abundance coming your way, satisfaction coming your way, feeling like you're on the top of your game as well. The Empress can manifest quite a bit that she wants. She basically is very, very creative energy. You might have a week where you're feeling incredibly creative as well. If you work in the arts, strong week for you. Or even in just making things as well. Just get the sense of this card with feeling fulfilled with your current situation. Now, that doesn't necessarily mean you're fulfilled when it comes to love, because love life is a little bit on the icy side, which is interesting because she also has her back turned to the love portion. And what's filling her up here, that sounds a little weird, is the general side. And the general has quite a bit more going on. There's more things that are exciting. Now, you've more than likely come from a period of rest, or at least needing a new perspective on your situation with the Hangman. Things may have been put on a pause, and there were delays that you've had to endure. But after reviewing things from a different perspective or gaining some further insight here, we've got some exciting news coming your way. For some, you could be dealing with the prospect of a child. Now, what's interesting is that a love life isn't necessarily going well, but if that's the case, maybe you're going to be like a single parent, for instance, and that's something that you've dealt with and you're okay with it and you're still excited about what the future holds. Now, other than that, which I think is for very few, there's, again, as I said, exciting news coming your way. You love what you're hearing, especially because what's the outcome card is the Ace of Wands. Feeling that burst of excitement and that energy as well. And wanting to take the energy of the Ace of Wands and making things happen is also the case that I usually get for myself. A very exciting time, and there is something here that's exciting you, that's all I know. Whatever it is, not really clear, but something's bringing you some sort of excitement. Now, love, this is where the fire energy dies away and it goes away a bit. We have the Eight of Swords and the Chariot with the Four of Swords. The Four of Swords being the outcome card tells me that not a lot is going on when it comes to love. And for some, you may be dealing with some sort of separation from another person, especially if you're in a partnership. If you're not in a partnership, I think that you have two minds about where you want to be in your love life or what sort of partner you want. And you decide to kind of take this week and just chill, relax, and not really deal with anyone with the Four of Swords. You may not have any prospects come through this week either with the Swords energy. And I think that the Eight of Swords and the Four of Swords cancels out the Chariot, which yes is a major, but I feel like the energy surrounding the Chariot isn't enough to progress here. And you might also just have your questions, which is what the minors are saying about where you want to go. The Chariot needs a direction. And I feel like right now you lack direction in your love life. You don't know maybe who you want to be with. Maybe you do have options, but not enough that you want to go out and hang out with somebody, basically. That energy is not there. And if you're already in a partnership, it feels as though either you or your partner could be away. Maybe one of the two of you are doing something on your own. Now, you do have anxieties though, so you are stressed for whatever reason when it comes to where your relationship is going. And that's more than likely because you feel like you have no clue as to where you and your partner are headed. If you need that sort of like confirmation that you guys are headed towards, let's say, moving in together, engagements, things of that nature, you may not be getting that from your partner, and that could be concerning you. In some cases, it could be you feeling the pressure from your partner and you not wanting to address their needs this week, at least. You don't want to feel that pressure. All right, so let's get a clarification card for the Empress. Ten of Swords. Why the Ten of Swords? Ooh. Okay, I feel like you escaped a very, very bad situation and somehow made it work for you. It's not quite clear what that situation is, but the Ten of Swords is painful energy. It's an ending. And the Seven of Swords is kind of I'm seeing it as my escape card, like just narrowly escaping a situation that could have been a disaster. And I feel like death is putting the end to a situation that's been difficult for you because your dominant energy is the Empress. So it's feeling like you've gotten something that you wanted. And again, she's very fulfilled energy. And that's despite the fact that you have what seems to be a horror show around you. And I feel like maybe you just narrowly escaped some form of disaster. And it's making you feel good to have gotten away. So strange, but okay. General. The Eight of Cups. And you know, I think this is somehow tied to this. There is this sort of escape from some extreme negativity that you were able to accomplish here. And it may have involved an emotional detachment. And this freedom could have brought you a new perspective and a new start with the Ace of Wands. What's the, Jesus Christ, Six of Cups. Somehow the past wanted to show itself here. And I think you've got that spark again. You may have had difficulty, seeing the positive in situations before, but she's reminiscing in a happy way. So I feel like you're feeling some sort of joy again. That's been a while. Stop dropping. And I feel like the wool is starting to come down from over your eyes. That's the Two of Swords. All right, so Ace of Wands. What is the Ace of Wands? Okay. Three of Wands. You're looking towards the bigger picture. There again is this spark, this fire energy that's coming through, this excitement and anticipation of what's to come and where you're headed. All right, love, 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 love. Well, there's either the need to express here, or you're receiving a message that you don't know how to respond to just yet, and you may have quite a bit of mixed feelings over this person's message to you. Some of you could be dealing with a child, or there's a child in the picture or coming into the picture, considering this Page of Wands is very young. We have the Empress there is obviously pregnant. The Page of Cups could also represent that as well. And this could be conversations that, for instance, you're having with a partner that you're not really together with, and maybe you don't want to be with that person. Maybe they're asking you to be as a unit, but you don't feel comfortable with that situation for whatever reason. I think that's very few. For the most part, I see it as someone having something to say or share, maybe an invitation, and you having mixed feelings about it. And this could be you towards another person as well. What's the Eight of Swords? The Two of Swords. Yeah, you don't really know what moves to make, what to do. You can't really see what's going on. You don't have a clear picture of the situation. Both these cards have like a blindfold over their eyes. And what's the Four of Swords? So much sword energy when it comes to love. There is a distance that's coming through in the love side. This could be your partner. This could be how you feel, and you're disconnecting from someone. No contact, or just trying to detach. So your centered card here is a Major. This could be an important week for you, or a lot of things going on. We do have the Chariot that for me at the base level tends to be busy energy. It tends to be pulled in multiple directions. Meanwhile, lots of things, as I said, going on. So you're being propelled forward. You may have momentum, but it could feel a little crazy. Now, others of you could find that you have a great, bright idea and are adamant about it and pursuing that with aggression. Because I see him, and this is probably the first time I recognize this big old sunflower looking thing. And he's just, he has a smile on his face. It's like he's realized something. And now is the moment to kind of just head towards whatever destination he wants to go towards, being you, whether you're male or female. Some of you, there is a possibility of travel or something to do with travel taking center stage for you this week. But I feel that's for a small amount. Now, on the general side, we have the Two of Wands and the Ten of Swords and the Prince of Chalices. Oh, that Ten of Swords. It puts a damper on the side. It's like you have this bright energy, and then the Ten of Swords brings a bit of darkness coming through. And so I think that, honestly, I see it as you actively making a choice to move away from something that's caused you quite a bit of significant pain or issues, and it could be any topic. These These two people here are working well together, are very happy with their situation, and neither of them are really paying attention to whatever's happening in the Ten of Swords. There's some sort of, you know, distraught energy here, suffering, mourning, and I feel like some of you could be putting on a very brave face, pushing forward, pushing past the negativity, especially because the Chariot's there, and the Chariot is an energy about that driving force. Despite the fact that in the back of your mind, or that you maybe just recently dealt with something that was hard. It wasn't easy. It's just the 10, and it's there, it's on the edge. Like the sword is here on the edge, and so it's like the very back of your mind at throughout the days, maybe even throughout the night, it's there, but you're actively pursuing just pushing past this energy because you don't want to feel the negativity, as most of us don't want to do. Some of you could be making a difficult choice this week, but it does lead to the Prince of Chalices, which is quite nice energy. Now, some of you may have been holding back feelings or thoughts, and the Prince of Chalices could be that emotional expression of whatever that is. And for the most part, there's also an energy here about this female reminiscing and thinking fondly of a situation. So in terms of the Ten of Swords, it could have been a painful ending for someone that you cared about. Maybe you've dealt with that recently, and this is just that fond memory coming to you of that person and what they brought to your life. It could be that significant. Others, I feel as though a decision that you have made, by the end of the week, it feels like a good thing and you feel satisfied with what you've decided. Like you can move on and move forward. So if we take a leap here to love, we have the King of Chalices, the Moon, and the World. Now some of you, there's more major energy here in love. And I'm noticing something else too. The Chariot, it's kind of headed in this direction. So this week, your focus could actually be on love life. It could be away from something else that's been painful outside of love and focusing on the romance, because it does seem like the romance is working quite well. You've got that major shift happening here. This could be you, this could be someone else. This could be heightened emotions this week regarding your love life, someone that you have a very strong emotional connection with, that you're attracted to. Maybe they're very open and available for you. And this could be quite the romance. I'm not seeing the Moon here bringing the illusions or confusions. It's a possibility for some, but I think there's the stronger possibility of some sort of deep romance connection that you're feeling. It's like spending a lot of nights and being around someone that could be very affectionate here, very romantic, and it could be a new experience for you with the world here. For some, if you're single, this person can come in, you have such strong feelings. It doesn't necessarily promise a relationship, but the possibilities that this connection will be something more. And I think that you see it that way with the world here. For others of you, you could be experiencing a new situation with a partner, which I do feel like, sorry for all the beeps, that's my emails. It could be experiencing like a new level, new situation with a partner that I think is for the positive. Now, it may make you feel a little bit uncomfortable because the Chariot and the Moon here, but I think it's because maybe there are feelings that you weren't aware of before, something like that. Oh, the Empress wanted to flip out. So especially if you're female, this could be feeling very attractive, someone looking up to you and making you feel like the Empress does. It's just like she has everything. She's confident, she's adored. So someone could be bringing that to your world. And it could also represent you having a significant a situation this week and it's going well. You see the growth in it, you see the possibilities, and it's continuing to, what's the word I'm looking for? I don't know. It's continuing to grow. Chariot. Nine of Pentacles. Wherever you're headed is through your own decisions, your own desires. Nine of Pentacles is a very independent card. Some of you may have acquired the wealth of the means to do something you've wanted to do as well with this energy. General. You've got, I think this is kind of like, as I felt before, where the Ten of Swords is there and it's trying to put a negative spin, but you have pushed past it successfully. You've dealt with any demons or any issues, and even though they may still linger for sure in the back of your mind, and it may still be a struggle, you are basically kind of like standing up to whatever it is and pushing past it as best as you can. What's the Knight, the Prince of Chalices? You've got Temperance as a clarifier for this outcome card, so everything ends in a very balanced way. You've had patience with yourself and others. You feel at ease by the end of the week, especially emotionally. And what's the reason behind the Ten of Swords? Something did not quite work out. Could be a failed project. With the Three of Pentacles here, it could be a loss of money. An activity, a cancellation, something that you were working towards that didn't quite work out and you had to just like bury it. Let's get one more. And it could also, actually, I do see it as well. This guy's working on, you know, I would say in a way perfecting the craft or just in training and occupied. And I feel like in some way you've occupied your mind from the thoughts that the Ten of Swords can typically bring. He has his back turned to the Seven of Cups, so you may still have that confusing energy, that's feeling like you don't really know what's going on or you don't really know what to do, but through distractions or to putting your energy elsewhere where you feel is more beneficial has helped you move from the Ten of Swords. Let's get one for love. Death. Definitely something major going on in love, and I don't necessarily see this as an ending to your relationship. In some cases, that's the possibility. Maybe as an ending, I see it as something you want because you see the best possibility here with the World. It may have some emotions that you're not comfortable with if that's the case, but I still think that you feel it's for the best and you're actually looking forward to it. Nine of Pentacles, as I said, is independence. It's independent energy and you are rushing towards that. Death here could be the representation of clearing the slate with a partner, starting fresh. It could be ending a relationship because it's for the best and you want some freedom. It could be a person that comes into your world that brings up feelings that you haven't had before and changes your circumstances, meaning you're more than likely not going to be single for much longer. Where does the World lead? I think the World definitely leads to a positive place. I usually see this card as a positive. As I mentioned with this deck, the Five of Pentacles in this deck is probably the only one that I see it differently, where I see some sort of relief in this Five of Pentacles of gaining that support, of having that person to back you up and feeling comfortable with them, that you know that they have your back. You don't feel abandoned here in this Five of Pentacles. And there is this strong friendship foundation. There is a celebration as well that's happening here. So some of you could have been apart from someone for a long time and are seeing them again, and it brings about this very strong connected union that's worth celebrating, and you enjoy the situation. Some of you, let me get one more here. Yeah, there's strength here. Like, she's supporting him, she's there for him, he's bleeding, you know, you got her supporting this beast of a lion here as well. So there's that support thing that's coming through with these two cards. And I don't normally care for strength at all when it comes to love, to be honest. It could represent as well having waited a long time for a situation. Whatever the situation too, I also think that your friends, people around you, that you're more than likely females, but it doesn't have to be, are very supportive of whatever you choose when it comes to love. And some of you could be looking towards friends for support, to have your back in a situation. And I think that's more of the case if you're ending a relationship and you want to be single and free. And I'm looking at the Ace of Pentacles. This might be important too. You've got a new opportunity that's very attractive your way. Could be, again, any topic. More than likely money involved. Let's go to the King of the King of Chalices, almost the Pentacles. Some of you could have someone that just like blows up in some way. Maybe they express feelings because the moon is here and it comes as a surprise, or you're dealing with something surprising from another person. Oh, that's interesting. I said the King of Pentacles, and look at that. There's a possibility some of you could be choosing between two people or dealing with two people. And then for others, this is another aspect of the King of Chalices, where they maybe, again, express something dynamically and surprisingly, and it shows their loyalty or their, like, this opening up, and trust could be a factor here. Like, development of trust could be a factor. Let's get one more for that. My goodness, all right. Somehow your love life is connected with other people. Other people play a role in this relationship. It's the Tower. And there's that decision, which I kept feeling. A sudden, surprising choice is coming through. And I think whatever that is, if it's on your end or if it's coming from the other person, it's more head over heart. Just because the Queen of Swords. You're taking your time with the situation, and I think that any communication that happens, it's not abrupt. It's not, well, I say that with the Tower there. It's not like it hasn't been thought through. Even if it does come as a shock, it has been thought through. It's been in the making. There's time involved here with the Knight of Pentacles and caution. There's that more decisive energy coming through. Having thought something through very carefully, it does feel like whatever this is also may impact others around you. Death. There's a swiftness, a quickness here. Whatever happens, I feel like it happens quickly and decisively, and there's no question or doubt in your mind about how the situation should turn out. Hopefully that wasn't confusing. It kind of expanded as I laid out the clarifiers. I think I'll leave it at that. Let me just get one more. Let's just get one more overall. Three of Chalices again. I don't think there's nothing to worry about this week, because I saw, you know, some cards which kind of bring some aggression in here, or rather that just like instantaneously decisive action. But then there is something to celebrate this week. You have friends, you have happiness, they're all smiles. So whatever's going on, whether it's quick, it's surprising, and it just like takes you by surprise. I said surprising. It's a good thing, and you know it's a good thing with the Three of Chalices.